A huge thank you for the band and everybody that contributed in doing the audio for us today. The city didn't want to play ball, so sorry, we had to do our own thing here. So Hamilton Mountain, how are we doing today? Hamilton Center, how are we doing today? You have the great and powerful David Speaker, who is our Hamilton Center candidate. You have Mad Max Bernier here as well. A round of applause, please. And we have other candidates that we're going to get to after David and Max have had a chance to speak. So, Hamilton, I'm a little bit disappointed. I see a lot of red and orange signs, but it's nice to see that the vaccine and the boosters are doing something. And for those of you here, you are taking action towards something that aligns with your principles. For most of us, we stood up against tyranny in some way and suffered the consequences. For some of us, this is a campaign against COVID. The vaccine, the mandates, the lockdowns, and shutting down the ability of the government to do this ever again. We are... Oh. Sorry, I lost my notes here. We are misunderstood to those who compromise principles for convenience. And for us, well, we are used to inconvenience. We won't compromise our principles, not then, and certainly not now. We will not forgive, and we cannot forget, because the repercussions of this will be felt for generations. The enemy has shown their hand, and to think your enemy will show you mercy is to die an optimist's death. So how do we fight back? We disrupt the power system and structure by using the most responsible tool at our disposal, our vote. We will stand up together, Hamilton, united against those who will lie, libel, and do anything in their power to ostracize us. We are the Milgram experiment, the 10% who pushed back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are polling at almost 10% in Hamilton Mountain, a Liberal and NDP stronghold. We are shifting that tide. And it's my hope that you carry through with this momentum, that we build on this movement together, a movement grounded in principle. We already have a resilience to propaganda. The media will always use fear to prompt action, whether it's splitting the vote, tariffs, hell, even invasion by the Americans. And until a few days ago, the other parties hadn't even posted their platform. They did it just after the last debate. And the Conservatives have fallen drastically in the polls because they're still running against the shadow of Trudeau. Well, that's the big difference between the PPC and the uniparties. Our platform is a part of who we are. It is shared principles. We are the boogeymen and women, the Baba Yaga. And it's up to us to disrupt the status quo. Because we shouldn't be united. We are the fringe, the disenfranchised, the unrepresented. They want us fractured and pointing fingers at each other instead of the government. But here we are together. Once again, standing up to the powers that be. We are activated by those whose deeds compelled us to action. We are the real North, strong and free. And together we can disrupt that status quo, shift the course to a country that we can be proud of again, a leader in the resource economy, a defender of Canadian values. We can take our power back in this country. And this is why they're always trying to take that away from us, the impact of our vote anyway. Or at least compel you to use it with fear. Fear of the other guy. While the media tries to sell you a boogeyman, we are the boogeymen. Because the powers that be are afraid of us. They've spared no expense and used almost every trick in the book in my generation. 2 economic collapses, a man-made pandemic, a Canada that used wartime legislation against peaceful and globally inspiring protest. It has been since that convoy that I've felt proud to be Canadian. And I stand before you now unsure. Because too many of us are fighting our battles alone. And here on Monday, we have an opportunity to stand up and fight together. If for nothing else than to disrupt their power. Because I'm at my breaking point as a Canadian, I am here in support of my principles and to take a stand. That's why I'm here, that's why Max is here, and all the candidates who are fighting for freedom, responsibility, and common sense here in Canada. And we look forward to finding out about why you are here. Come talk to us, come get to know your local candidates, and please come out and vote for the Purple Party on Monday. So Hamilton Centre, let's axe that tax, let's axe the vax, and let's bring on Mad Max! You gotta go all the way around.
Hello, everybody. So, I just want to tell you that what we did the last 33 days, was what we must do all the time to speak about our ideas with passion and conviction. And I can tell you that was a great campaign because I was able to meet a lot of Canadians across the country. And I like when I'm seeing somebody who's telling me, Maxime, I never voted at the federal level, and that will be my first time, and I will vote for the People's Party. That's important for me because, yes, that's important for me because there's 40% of the population who did not vote at the last election. And imagine if we have all them voting and the participation rate is higher than 60%, we'll be in government. So it's a question of time for us to be able to speak to them. And I can tell you that we can attract non-voters, we can attract conservative voters, NDP voters, because we are telling the truth about the biggest challenges that we have in our country. And yes, mass immigration is part of that. And actually, when I was doing a lot of podcasts across the country, I can tell you that the one that I did with Tucker Carlson, we had a great discussion about the impact of mass immigration, not only in Canada, but in Europe, in the UK, France. It's happening in all Western countries. So we need to be able together to tell the truth and saying to Canadians, all that must stop. We need to have more time to integrate all these new immigrants who came to our country. We want them to be part of our society. We don't want them to live in a ghetto. And that's a big change. Polyev and Carney are not speaking about that. And actually, they are not telling the truth. For them, the enemy is Donald Trump. But it's not our enemy. Trump did a campaign about Make America Great Again. And actually, I respect that because we want to make Canada great again. And the way to negotiate with Donald Trump, it's not by imposing counter tariffs. It is hurting us, not the US. All these tariffs, it's a new tax that we are paying every day on everything that we are importing from the US. The way to solve that is to not impose us a new tax and telling Canadians that we need to do that because the sovereignty of our country is in danger. That's not true. What is happening in that election? The mainstream media, the Liberals, the Conservatives are telling Canadians that Donald Trump is dangerous, he wants to invade our country, and we need to stand up, we need to impose counter tariffs, and they are telling us it will hurt us, but that's okay. But they're telling us also by imposing these counter tariffs, we may have a recession. So what these leaders, Polyev, Carney, are telling us, they love us so much that they want to tax us more, and they're telling us maybe by doing that we'll create a recession. So they want us to lost our job, and that's what will happen if we don't do anything. And our goal is to fight for Canadians, and yes, we can do that. We can have a trade deal with Donald Trump if we put everything on the table, because President Trump said, if you impose 25% tariffs, I will impose 25% tariffs. I will impose reciprocal tariff. So the best way to have a deal with him is to impose zero tariff, and like that, Trump will do the same. And right now, Trudeau, Carney, Polyev, they're telling us that they have great gift for us Canadians. They are telling us that they will lower our taxes. They will give us a tax break. But the question that they don't answer, and the question that we must ask, where the money will come from. If they want to give us more money in our own pockets, it will come from borrowing more money, bigger deficit, a bigger debt. By doing that, we know that it's not a real tax cut that they will give us, because we will have to pay for these deficits and debt with more taxes in the future or more inflation in the future. They are not serious about balancing the budget. They don't want to speak about that. But we know if we want to improve the economy, first, balance the budget in 1 year. Second, use all the surpluses to be able to lower taxes to you. And like that, that will be a permanent and a real tax cut. And that's our proposal. We are telling the truth to Canadians. Tax cuts when we have deficit, it's not a real one. You will pay more taxes in the future. So the People's Party is there to tell you the truth. And I'm very pleased that we have a lot of candidates here today that are ready to work for you and with you. And and I want to address the question about splitting the vote. You know, at the end of a campaign, the Conservatives are telling Canadians, don't support the People's Party because you will split the vote. First, they won't split any vote because you own your vote. You can do what you want with your vote, and if you vote for the People's Party, you are voting in line with your values, with your principles, and you are voting for a principled political party. We know, and I tweeted about that yesterday, we know that Polyev may not win that election. So I'm telling to Conservative voters, don't waste your vote with the Conservative. Anyway, you'll have Carney or you'll have a fake one. Vote with the People's Party, vote in line with your ideas. We will have more chances to change this country for better. And I can tell you that now, at the end of the campaign, people are knowing that we are here to win that election. When I'm speaking about winning, I'm speaking about making history at this election, and we may have our first candidates elected, and we will have a strong voice in Parliament Monday night during that election. I can tell you that. And that will be the beginning of that common sense revolution. We are here today because we believe in this country. We are here today because our candidates, myself, believe in you guys. We believe that you can be part of the change, that you can make the change. And we want you to be freer. We want you to be prosperous. That's why we call that party the People's Party. We want to work with you and for you. Because we have faith in you. We have faith that you have the ability, the dignity, and the right to make your own decisions and determine your own destiny. If we have a smaller government in Ottawa that won't tell you what to do or what not to do, a smaller government that will respect you, taxpayers, that will respect our Constitution, that will give more autonomy to every province. Look, today, because of the federal government, we have a strong strong separatist movement in Quebec, a separatist movement in Alberta. They're fed up. They don't want the federal government to tell their province what to do or not to do. And because of these liberals and conservatives, they are not telling Canadians that they will respect the Constitution, not interfere in provincial jurisdictions. When I was in Alberta last week, I told Albertan, separatist Albertan, I said, we love you, we want you to stay in this country, and you need to support the People's Party, because with you, with us in government, you won't have to be independent. You'll be happy here in Canada. But I don't understand why in Alberta you are voting for the Conservatives when they won't do anything about the Paris Accord. They will impose more regulations and taxes to fight climate change, and we know that there's no climate emergency. They won't speak about the unjust equalization formula, and you are paying a lot to Eastern Canadians. We want to have a fair formula, and we want these equalization payments to be reduced. That would be good for Alberta, for Ontario, and for Quebec. And actually, they don't address that. They don't speak about that. So I can tell you that in Alberta, at the last election, we had 10% of the vote in that province on an average of 5% across the country. And here in Ontario, we had an average of 7%, more than the national average. So we will be able to have a lot of support at this election in Alberta and here in Ontario. But what you must do, you still have 2 days to be out there. Speak to your friends, speak to your family, help us to win that election. Help us to be able to grow the support that we have all across the country. We cannot do that alone. Our candidates cannot do that alone. We need you guys, and I believe that you need us also. So if you can be out there and speak to your family, your friends, about your ideas, about the People's Party, about the situation in our country, start the conversation by, what do you think about all these immigrants that are coming to our country? They understand we have 65 to 70% of the population who are saying enough is enough with mass immigration. So start the conversation by speaking about that. And after that, telling them that, you know, there's only one party, the People's Party, that is there to fight for you. And we are ready to have that moratorium on immigration. And yes, at the same time, doing the deportation, because we have illegals in our country right now who don't want to leave the country. You know, when you come here as an international student, after that, when you have your diploma, you must go back to your country of origin. But no, they want to stay, they want to have a job, and we know that we are in a recession right now. It's very difficult for young Canadians to have a first job, and for semi-retired Canadians to be able to have a job. And now we have all that cheap labor that is coming here in our country, and they want to stay when their permit has expired. We need to change that. Our legislation must be respected. Our legislation must be respected, and that's why we want to be sure to know who they are, where they are, and putting our resources to deport them. The people who their permit has expired. And that must not be a big scandal. That, you know, we did that in the past in Canada, but now you have Poliev and Carney who are telling these people, you can stay in Canada. You don't respect our legislation, your permit has expired, but that's okay. Stay here, we will give you the permanent residency. I don't want that. Imagine the message that we are sending to the world. You can come to Canada, not by the front door, but using another scam to come here and be temporary foreign workers or international students, and after that stay here, you'll be Canadians. We need to tell everybody, if you want to be Canadians, there's only one door. Apply in your country at our embassy. You must have an interview, and if you share our values, and if we have a job for you, you'll be able to come here and to be a Canadian like we did in the past. That's what we did in the past. But before that, we need to have that moratorium, because we know the impact of mass immigration on housing. We know the impact of mass immigration of our healthcare system. We know the impact of mass immigration in our schools. We know the impact of mass immigration of our infrastructures. So it's everywhere. But the most important impact of mass immigration is on our standard of living. When you have more people coming to our country, the GDP will grow, the economy will grow, but because of mass immigration, the population is growing faster than the growth of the economy. So what I'm telling you is the economic pie is growing, but our piece of the pie is smaller. The GDP per capita, because of mass immigration, is going down. And we know that the last 10 years, our standard of living did not increase. So we need to fight that. We need to tell the truth to Canadians about that. And that's why if you can do that the next 2 days, that will help. If you can speak to 5, 10 people that you know, that will help. And don't hesitate also. Don't hesitate to speak about your values with passion and conviction. Because what is the goal? If you have the best ideas and you keep them for yourself, nothing will happen. We need to be out there. That populist movement is growing everywhere, in France, in UK, in US, and here in Canada with the People's Party of Canada and our candidates. It is growing, and we are the future for this country. So stay strong and free. Go out, speak about your values. Don't forget to vote Monday. And I can tell you, we may make the history Monday, and if not, if we are not doing the history, if we are not having our first candidate elected, I believe that we will. But if not, I just want to let you know, this party will be there for the next election. We are building that movement. We know that we have the truth with us, and we will be there when Canadians will be ready. If they're not ready for this election, they will have to wake up and smell the coffee. Maybe not this Monday, but they will have to do that, and we will be there. Like I said, it's a revolution that we are doing, a peaceful, common sense revolution. It may not happen in that election, but it will happen a day. Because right now, this country is going in the wrong direction. We know it. But maybe it's not every Canadian who knows it. It's not everyone. But our goal is to be out there. So you can count on us. We may have our first candidate elected in Parliament Monday night, and if not, we will be there on the street and doing that battle until the next election, until we win the battle of ideas, and we will do that together. Thank you. Stay strong and free. Thank you.
How about one more time for Mad Max? The only politician that stood up for us during COVID. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I have another great and powerful speaker for you today. Dr. David Speaker. He is your Hamilton Centre candidate for the People's Party. He is the one you'll be casting your ballot for. He just broke out of the hospital today. And he's got a hell of a walking stick. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. David Speaker to the stage.
I'm getting told where to go, what to do. Perfect. Right here. Hamilton, how are you? Wow, it's been a wild campaign, and I am so thankful to my team. The past 48 hours, I've been in emerge sick with sepsis, but I am here and I'm still fighting for this nation and this town. Because Canada and Hamilton are worth fighting for. Okay? What am I saying? It's been 5 long years of our governments lying to us about the vaccine for COVID, how it's always safe and effective, good, fine. And it is nothing but, as a PhD scientist, I have personally looked at 44 vials, all of them. They have the lots of DNA in there, which shouldn't be, and SV 40 sequences. It's been known since 1999. If you take a DNA fragment attached to a SV40 enhancer, insert that into our cells, it will move into the nucleus and integrate into our genome. And we're told these are safe and effective. And I say no. It is time to axe the vax. And I am not anti-vax. I am calling for a return to evidence-based healthcare, evidence-based science, and so evidence-based. So there's a ostrich farm in BC, okay? And end of December, two of their birds were sick and died of avian influenza. All of the rest are fine, and their own federal government, CFIA, wants to call all of the herd like they are doing for chickens. If they suspect one bird is sick on a farm, then they will go in and then they'll kill all of the birds on that farm. Okay? So it'll affect our food sources. The egg cost in these states is going so high, and here too. So our own government is basically controlling our food supply for so that we depend on them. And I'm saying no, it's time for us to go back, look at all of the evidence and follow it instead of pushing a government narrative. I've also called for support for vaccine-injured Canadians. On my canvassing near here, I had a lady call us back, looked at my card, and it said support for vaccine injured people. And her husband, since getting vaxxed, developed leukemia. She's a NDP supporter, and they are saying nothing about the vaccine injured at all. And therefore, those people are supporting us because we will stand up and fight for those who have been hurt. And this past month, a judge looked at that Dan Hartman's case. Okay, 17-year-old kid Sean Hartman was vaxxed, single Pfizer shot just to play hockey, and was found dead in his room 33 days later. Young kid, active, and his heart was full of spike developed by the vaccine, and an Ontario judge ruled our federal government in a pandemic has no duty of care, and therefore if they mandate something and it causes us harm, too bad. And I say that is completely unacceptable. So this here is my home riding of Hamilton Centre. It's a NDP stronghold, but by MP Matthew Green, who openly supports Antifa and Intifada, and says in our House of Commons, long live Palestine, long live Gaza. And those type of people should not be in government in this nation speaking for us, because they're more worried about overseas their own paycheck and not the people of this great city. So there's a push out there, hashtag ABG, anybody but Green. It is time for change in the city. On Monday, vote me, Dr. David Speaker, vote PPC.
Well, there you had it. Hamilton Centre, your PPC candidate, Dr. David Speaker. Round of applause, please. Now, if you are a candidate for the People's Party, because whoever wrote me the list writes like another doctor, I'm just going to ask that you guys make your way to the stage here. We'll bring you up one at a time. Say a couple of words, who you are, what your riding is. You guys are going to have to mic clip your own selves. And let's get through it so that we can introduce these other wonderful freedom fighters to the rest of you wonderful supporters. Do we want to start with, how about Hamilton Mountain candidate, Ding Dong, it's Bing Wong!
Hey, what's up, folks? My name is Bing. I am the candidate for Hamilton Mountain. And I think like most of you, I am tired of the uniparties. I'm tired of talking about splitting the vote. I'm tired of talking about the lesser evil. What I want to talk about is the truth. What I want to talk about is accountability. And I don't hear that coming from any of the other parties, which is why I can't vote for them. I've been voting for the PPC since 2019. And in this most recent opportunity, Dr. David Speaker and I have been working on things together for a number of years. And when the opportunity, like Axe Steve Axe. And when the opportunity came to support him with the PPC, I stood up because, as I mentioned, I've been voting for the People's Party anyways. And I think we need to have more engaged candidates. I think that the battle that we're fighting is going to take a little bit of time, and I've got some time. So and so does David, and we're gonna stay in it for the long haul if you'll have us. So thank you very much, and I'm pleased to be the candidate. And if you are in the Hamilton Mountain riding and you'd like to shake my hand, introduce yourself, please do. Thank you very much. I think we're going to go with candidates kind of in the area first. Jim Boutsakakis, Stony Creek. That's it, right?
Hello, everybody. I see. It warms my heart to see so many young people here today, and I have a message for you. The same people that are voting for the current government have enjoyed, through the greatest economic expansion, a life of liberty and freedom and wealth. And they are voting to keep our young people vaxxed, tracked, and limits on your freedom. You have a choice on Monday. You go and vote for the People's Party, and you take your future back. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Hi. Thank you for coming. My name is Ava Sharavi, and I'm the candidate for Hamilton West and Castor Dundas. Thank you. And thank you for having the courage to stand up with the PPC, even though everything is against us. They censor us. There's so much propaganda, but we are trying to save Canada, and we couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much.
I'm Nikita Mahood. I'm the candidate for Flamborough, Glanbrook, Brant North. And I just want to say that I'm so incredibly proud to stand here shoulder to shoulder with all of you people. We have been through so much, so many lies, so many fake ideas and slogans, and you see past it all. And you guys are incredible. And we would be nothing without you. So thank you so much for still being here. We are not going anywhere. I'm going to be here next election. Probably almost all of these candidates will. As a party, we're not going anywhere, and we really need you to stick this out with us because we're getting it. We're getting there, okay? Thank you, everyone. I think everybody should probably come up at once and introduce yourselves real quick. There we go.
How's everybody doing here? Where did all these people go? Where did they go? If you want this nation to be what this nation is supposed to be, then you've got to be brave. You've got to be bold. Who is brave here? Who is bold here? This nation is one of the greatest nations in the world. However, it lacks good leadership. And when good leaders come, they're challenged. They're challenged. They are not with a party which is blue. They're not with a party which is red. And that's why they're discounted. Is that fair? Is that fair? Do you want to change that? Will you change that? How are you going to change it? No. Not only are you going to vote, you're going to take more people to vote. Will you take more people to the voting booths? Will you take 5 people? Will you take 10? Will you put PPC in the power? Let's do it.
So I'm Andy DeAndrea from Etobicoke North in Toronto. Just right, leaving Mississauga, you get into Toronto. There is a glitch in the matrix in Etobicoke North.
there's an opportunity there. I'm one of the opportunity to actually win. Etobicoke North had a full slate of new candidates. The Liberal incumbent left last minute. She was ill and left last minute, and they brought in someone who doesn't know the riding. The Conservatives had their star candidate, Don Patel. I don't know if you heard about him in the news. They dropped him last minute. And they brought in someone from Georgetown who doesn't know the riding. I've run 2 times with the Ontario Party in this riding. I have my signs with the PPC all over the riding. I've got cards to every household in Etobicoke North and most apartments. I need help to go and speak to the people. The people are waiting to hear from us. You don't know how many people at the door. They're so receptive of the message that Maxime just gave. The immigration issue, youth not finding jobs, rent is out of control, housing is impossible. The woke stuff, no one's speaking about Bill C-4. It's crazy that this has actually passed in government, and the families don't want this. When you tell them, they'd say, okay, I'll sign up. So every person you speak to is a vote for the PPC. So I'm asking, I have Hugh here, one of my volunteers. I'm setting a blitz today at 5 o'clock in Toronto. We're about an hour away to get there. At Islington and 401, we're doing a blitz. I have maps, I have cards to go and door knock and ask people to vote for PPC. And that'll continue also on Sunday. So anybody who wants to come out there, or if you're passing through on the 401, come. I can take 3 people back, and Hugh said he'll bring you back to Hamilton if you want. Just come talk to us. Thank you for your support.
Hi, my name is Sat Anand and I am from Brampton, North Caledon. Why I am running for the election? Because we are not safe in our house. Our cars are being stolen, jewelry stores are being broken, and even if they come to your house, they slip, they sue you. The rules, regulation in Canada are very lenient, very soft. We want to make it strict. Anybody does something like that must be punished. So vote PPC, vote Sat Anand, Brampton North Caledon. Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Mimi Lee and I'm running at Markham Thornhill. The reason why I'm running is because majority of Canadians do not realize how severe our infiltration from foreign countries had gotten. It's very, very heartbroken that most of Canadians do not know about it. And the infiltration is so severe, not just in the government, in educational institutions, even in companies, everywhere, all levels. So if we want to keep our sovereignty, we need to vote for somebody that will actually keep it together. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ryan Anderson, and I am running in Niagara West. I'm your neighbor. Yay, I got a couple fans. The reason why I'm running is because the Canadian dream of owning a home has been stolen from my kids, and it was intentional. And if you look at the chart and you see immigration, and all of a sudden it goes like this, and we can't afford anything, it's done on purpose. Look at the charts, do the math. That's why I'm standing up. I'm just a regular guy. I'm not a politician, but I'm tired of the lies. All they do is lie to us over and over again. Smoke and mirrors. Look at those beautiful greenhouses there. You know what we do in Niagara West? We pump them full of CO2. Why? So that we can get the vegetables and the fruits that we all like to eat in the grocery store. But they're going to tell you that it's pollution. It is the building block of life. It's all a money scam, over and over again. Thank you.
Hello, fellow freedom fighters. My name is Charles Atch. I'm your neighbor from Burlington North, Milton West. Anybody from Burlington North, Milton West out there? Yeah, very good. 2 of them. That's great. That's a good start. All these fine people here, they've talked about all kinds of different things we've heard before, but my particular lane in a former life, I used to be a gun lobbyist. So I have seen the monster in Ottawa, and it's called civil disarmament in Canada. So you should be very alarmed about this. They're demonizing people like me and people like you who lawfully own firearms, right? Making us into some kind of boogeyman out there and a national security threat. It's a lie. It's all a lie. They want to take the legal guns away so that only the military and the state security forces have firearms. That should be alarming to everybody. We've seen that in history before. It doesn't end well for the public. So I'm here to tell you that I have many issues, but that is very dear to my heart because it's not just about the guns. It's about my liberty and my freedom and my ability to defend it, and I will. Amen.
All right, guys, what's going on, Hamilton? That's the energy we want. I'm JD Meany. I'm from Oakville West. Just want to say shout out to all the candidates, especially the new ones. I've campaigned now this is my 4th time doing it. And let me tell you guys, it is very tough. But you know what? My soul is getting callous now at this point. So I'm going to say it like it is. We need to tell those baby boomers that are voting red that they are destroying the country. You need to do your part. If you are a boomer, you also need to tell them to snap out of it and think about the big picture. The PPC is the antidote. We are not the problem. The rest of them are a uniparty, and we are the only real option. Thank you.
Hello, Rene DeVries here. Markham Stovall, north of Toronto. Good to be here. And I wanted to only say that Max can be very proud for bringing all these freedom fighters together, and we're sticking it out, as one of the previous speakers said. We're here to stay, and we'll be back, so don't worry. We're slowly breaking through the matrix, and we will bring the change that we all want.
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Bradburn and I'm the candidate for Northumberland Clark. We are a very large rural county to the east. You may have heard of us. Oh, thank you. So I don't want to say exactly what everyone else is saying back here. The reason why I am running is because I'm a psychotherapist. So I see daily the anxiety, depression, ADHD, all the symptoms. Just in working with my clients and seeing how people are being affected by the changes in our country. And I'm telling you, it's not a pretty sight. So I'm here because I want to fight for our mental health. I want to make sure we have a healthy, thriving Canada. And I'm just really excited to be here. And I'm loving the energy from all of you today. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jamie McMaster, and I'm your candidate for Peterborough. I got into politics because I had the misfortune of going to college during COVID. And after a year of online delivery for 2020, going into 2021, I had a tough decision to make. In lockstep, all the colleges in Ontario decided they were going to make the vaccine mandatory. There was no other option. I couldn't change colleges. It was either take the vaccine or withdraw from college. They weren't going to offer online delivery. And I have medical freedom in this country. I'm not going to be a test subject for a vaccine that bypassed the trials. And I have a good memory too. And I remember the Conservatives were saying we need more vaccines. And I remember that our federal candidates, Justin Trudeau, Erin O'Toole, They all had their little masks on, and they all said, no matter what we believe in, we all agree that COVID is the biggest crisis our nation is facing, and I disagreed with that. So I voted for the first time for the PPC in 2021. Fast forward to 2025, I went to see who our candidate was in Peterborough, and there was no candidate. So here I am today. And the PPC, in my opinion, in my view, is the only party that stands for our fundamental rights. They're the only party that believes our rights are objective and fundamental. They can't be changed. Our federal government says Section 1 outlines when they can violate, infringe, or limit your rights, and that is unacceptable, and that's why I'm running as a candidate for the PPC. Thank you very much.
This? All right, perfect. Hi there, my name is Amir Hart. I'm the PPC candidate for Thornhill. It's a suburb just outside Toronto. It's a beautiful place, and very unfortunately, we have a person that is representing us that previously, during the lockdowns, was representing Walmart while small businesses were forced to be closed, that continue to push the unfair treatment between huge businesses and local small businesses. Why? Why do we have someone like that representing our community? In our democracy, are we not supposed to elect people who represent us as a community, as us as people, rather than the interest of what the party is telling them to do, rather than the interest of what their lobbyists are telling them to do? It should be your voice going through them, not what their opinions are, not what they're being paid to think, not being what more powerful people are telling them how to vote. It is your vote, it is your representative, and that's what should be the case. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Joshua Sideris. I am the candidate for Richmond Hill South. Running for the PPC is such a refreshing thing. It's a party that I don't have to follow a script for. It's a party that reflects my values on individual liberties and my values on economics. PPC is the only party that stands for a balanced budget. A balanced budget should be common sense. You can't run a business the way the government runs because you'll go bankrupt. And if you run your house the way the government runs, you'll lose your house. We're the only party that stands against tariffs. Import tariffs are a tax that you pay to import the stuff that you need. And the only purpose of it is that it protects certain corporations at the expense of others. It's a huge scam. We're the only party that stands against supply management that legally allows corporations to price gouge us, or to be more precise, to fix prices, which would otherwise be illegal. We're the only party that stands for your individual liberty to choose whether or not you want to be vaccinated. We stand against medical tyranny. This should be a no-brainer. You're a free person. You own your own body. Canada needs a populist movement yesterday. They need the PPC. Canada deserves better. Get out there and vote. Spread the word. Let's get seats. Thank you. Who's next?
Good afternoon. I am Trevor Lee. I am the candidate for Chatham-Kent-Leamington. Thank you, thank you. I've been with the PPC since 2018. I ran here, actually Hamilton Mountain, in 2019. And I am here to tell you that since the inception of this party, our party's values have never changed. Our policies never change. We stand steadfast with what we say. And the people up here, they're the real deal. They're just people like everybody here, just like you and me. We're just normal people who are sick and tired of the establishment. So on the 28th, you know what to do. Vote for your values, vote for the PPC. Thank you.
Guys, we'll get to the rest of the candidates here, but if we could just have Max come to the stage here. Ladies and gentlemen, Mad Max Bernier and your People's Party candidates. Let's give a round of applause, please. Make some noise. This is the true North, strong and free. We will see you on the 28th.
Thank you, guys.
Any other candidate that wants to come up and say your piece, you can. You guys kind of screwed this up. It was supposed to be short and sweet. Let's be respectful of everybody's time here. I don't know who was next, but the mic is yours.
Hi, I'm Merrick Jasinski. I'm running for Humber River, Black Creek. And the reason why I'm running is because it's the object of the government to secure your rights. And when's the last time they've done that? Thank you.
Well, my name is Jeffrey Swaghammer, and I'm the PPC candidate for Guelph. It's a very red, very liberal town. It's kind of sad, but I became the candidate 3 days before the election. I was more than happy to do it. I'm more than happy to represent our party and our principles in such a liberal hexscape, I guess. But basically, I'm in it for the long run. I believe in this cause. And as I say at every single one of my gatherings, I love every single Canadian. I love everyone here. I love Max. He's a fantastic leader, and I couldn't ask for a better party leader. And I hope that he sticks around for a long time, because I think Canada's worth it. And that's all I have to say, so thank you.
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, that comes to a close here, so get a hot dog, get a drink, buy some merch, and we'll see you on the 28th. Okay? Thank you, everybody, for your time today.